morning, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Hema Ramkisoon, and welcome to the CNZ3 Early Morning Show. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning. It is Tuesday, the 21st of August. How did you spend your public holiday yesterday? Did you have time to get some rest and relaxation in? Was it filled of household chores? Whatever you did, I hope that you had a wonderful time and that you continue to achieve all that you want to achieve. The Muslim community actually celebrated Eid al-Fitr on Sunday. So again, all the religious festivities happening in Trinidad and Tobago, a testament to the fact that we are a multi-religious, multi-ethnic society, appreciative of all that we have to offer that makes Trinidad and Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago. This morning, as is customary, we're going to continue to keep you abreast of all that's happening, or keep you updated with all that's happening in the country. We'll be linking with Marlene McDonald, the MP for Port of Spain South. And the reason we're speaking with her this morning, they are intensifying actions against the mayor and those who are charged with the responsibility of formulating and implementing the new traffic plan. Ms. McDonald is saying that the plan still has not given or delivered desired results, and that the business community continues to suffer as a result of the decisions being made at the top. She says there was little or no consultation. Mayor, on the other hand, has given another side of the story. He has stated that at no other point in Trinidad, in our history in Trinidad and Tobago, has there been this level of consultation. This morning, we're also going to share with you the Bourse Report. Subhash Ramkalawan will be joining us on set. The business of the day. Even though Monday was a public holiday, we have to make sure that you're aware of what's happening in the local stock exchange and how the global economy is impacting your ability to earn money on the local listings. Also, we'll be speaking to Vincent Cabrera. It's been 1 year since a declaration of a state of emergency. One of the daily headlines highlights, one of the daily newspapers in its headline actually highlighted the fact that over a year has passed and little or nothing has changed. How do you feel about that? And we're going to end things off on a lighter segment, building stronger families. Stronger families equate to stronger communities and a better Trinidad and Tobago. But before we go to the Bourse Report, let's tell you why you should buy the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian today. On the front page of the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian, not one red cent. Ram Logan, that's according to the Guardian newspaper today. No payout for state of emergency arrests. And crawl space, there's a picture there of the military personnel getting ready for the military tattoo, which is part of the celebrations. 50 years of independence. Salmonella alert for Diego Martin flood victims, and 2 shot in South and Central. Moving on to the major story on the inside of the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian. CETAHAL may join probe into Linden protests. Dana CETAHAL SC has been recommended by the CARICOM Secretary General to serve on a Guyana Commission of Inquiry into the protests at Linden on July 18th, which involved deaths of 3 Guyanese nationals. So they go into a long story there. There's also a picture of one of the national security helicopters. Guyana opposition pleased with nominees for inquiry. Kiwi stun young Windies. Last ball boundary decides a thriller. So not so good fate there for the young West Indies team. Hopefully they'll have better luck next time. Subhash Ramkalawan is sighing a little bit. He is a West Indies fan. The plain talk goes to Robin van Persie. That's from the Man U match yesterday. All big things happening in the English Premier League. La Liga has also started. So whichever is your favorite team, I'm sure you have a lot of football to take in. The applause goes to Brendan Nash. Before we go to the Bourse Report, let's give you something to think about while you have your morning cup of coffee with us. You're not in this world to live up to other people's expectations, nor should you feel that the world must live up to yours. I'm going to read that again for you. You're not in this world to live up to other people's expectations, nor should you feel that the world must live up to yours. Sometimes we don't get what we expect, but we get what we deserve. And sometimes everything always works out for the best. So no matter the level of disappointment you may feel at one time or the other, know that in the end, it's all for a greater purpose. I'm Hema Ramkisoon, and we now go straight to the Bourse Report.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and welcome once again to the Boss Report. On behalf of Boss, we extend belated greetings to the Muslim community in the celebration of Eid. We've had, as you know, 2 consecutive public holidays on a Monday, and so we've chosen to discuss what has been happening today. We will cover today 4 areas. Republic Bank Limited, its results for the 9 months ended June 30th. Guardian Holdings, its half-year results. TCL, Trinidad Cement Limited, that group, with its half-year results. And I would like, if time permits, to just mention a bit about the NIPDEC bond, which was recently issued, or to be issued on the 22nd. Let's talk about Republic Bank. Republic Bank, most of their indicators have shown upward movement, positive movement. And so the bank recorded reasonably good results for its 9-month period, increasing to $5.25 in earnings, up from a smaller figure before of $5.04, or some 4.6%. All indicators look good. Total assets up. Dividend yield is 4%, total equity up some 7.9%. This is in the context that credit demand would have grown in the period by 5.6%. Let's just take a quick look at how the operating profits are shared across the region in terms of where it is generated. Still in Trinidad and Tobago, the largest generation of some 78% in the breakdown of profits before tax being generated in Trinidad and Tobago, smaller amount in Barbados, and still a smaller amount in the Cayman, Guyana, and Latin and the Eastern Caribbean. What can we look forward to? Well, first of all, in terms of the outlook, the company has shown good growth. That may be tempered by what is coming down the pike in terms of the Clico Investment Trust, which will hold some 51 million shares, or 1/3 of the Republic Bank issue of shares. And this means that if there is so much supply coming into the market, it might temper the growth in share price. The share price is now $101.10. We feel that you should still accumulate this stock, and we have a whole recommendation on Republic Bank Limited. Let's turn quickly now to Guardian Holdings. Guardian Holdings has shown very good results in terms of its growth in income for the period, for the half year, up to 81 cents from the previous year of 63 cents. So it means that the earnings per share has grown by some 28%. When you look at the profitability though, the profit after tax has grown by about 11%, but taxes have declined by some 30%, and this is what would have contributed to the earnings picture. The stock continues to be a stock where the multiples continue to be low, reasonably low, and this augurs well in terms of upward movement in share price. As you know, the stock was trading just a couple of months ago at $16 or thereabout. It's now moved to $19 based on certain rumors that has been also going around in the market, but also because of very strong performance of the company. We think that this stock, you should continue to accumulate this stock. They have cleared some of the issues that have been persistent over the past 3 or 4 years, especially the performance of their external holdings in terms of the UK. That having been put behind them, the company is concentrating on its core performance and its core areas of activity. And you would see that in terms of the growth in the income from insurance underwriting operations. We continue to have a hold. The dividend yield on the stock is 2.74%, which is good. The movement, the valuations are good, and so we say hold on the stock, accumulate for the medium term. TCL, however, is a totally different story as we move very quickly to TCL. The company has not paid dividends since 2008, and for the half year, it would have recorded a loss per share, negative earnings per share of 59 cents, down even further from the previous year when a loss of 28 cents was recorded. Yet still, the stock has grown a bit in terms of price, up to 183, 2.2% year to date. We still feel, however, that the stock, there are tremendous challenges in terms of the revenue side, in terms of the growth side, of the earnings picture, and therefore we continue to hold a sell recommendation on TCL. Very quickly now on to the NIPDEC bond that was issued, auctioned I should say last week, and to be issued on the 22nd of August, that is this week. The bond was oversubscribed by 6 times. It was a $333 million bond stock, and it would have been a 13-year bond. Investors should look at participating in these bonds rather, because upon issue, it was auctioned at 5.15%, but the yield turned out to be 4% because of the extensive oversubscription. Look for us on the Express, page 10, for more detailed report. Look on our website to see a replay of this particular broadcast. Have yourself a wonderful investment week. This is Subhash Ramkilawan for the Bourse Report.
Shopping in the USA? Worried about not being able to fit everything in your suitcase? Worry no more. Buy all you want and ship it home with Aeropost. Sign up today and ship your purchases with Aeropost. We'll deliver it to you easily, safely, and hassle-free. Sign up today for your own Aeropost Miami address. Visit us at Arapita Avenue, Fernandez Compound, Gogo Lands, Point Lisas, and Tobago, or online at www.aeropost.com/POS. Aeropost. Online shopping made easy.
Bishop was an artist and musician. Born in Trinidad, she received a national scholarship after her secondary school education at Bishop Anstey High School. She attended King's College, Durham University, where she studied art. Later, she would go on to study history at the University of the West Indies in Jamaica, and then lectured both the Mona and St. Augustine campuses for 8 years. Leader of the Lydian Choir and conductor of the Desperado Steel Orchestra, she received an honorary doctorate from the University of the West Indies in 1994. In that same year, she received the Trinity Cross, then the nation's highest award. She is credited with the training of several of Trinidad and Tobago's most accomplished vocalists, and, at her most prolific, led the Lydian singers through roughly 30 concerts a year. Bishop has been recognized around the region for her contribution to the arts and national culture, and in particular, the development of the steel pan.
The 50 most influential personalities since independence. We want your view via text on Facebook and online at 50tt.guardian.co.tt.
You're talking to your best friend when
you're going to clean their family.
You get cash back. You're talking to your best friend when you realize you're always a winner. You're talking to your best friend when you get a makeover. You suddenly feel like dancing. Every dog gets its day. You have your cake and eat it too. Night falls, You're talking to your best friend. Whatever else happens, always get extraordinary value with Digicel. Get $1 cash back for every paid minute on local Digi-to-Digi calls made during the day, so you can talk more at night. Be extraordinary. Digicel.
It's really one bank, it can depend on friendly service every day. It's really one standard of treating you like you deserve to be. Yeah, Republic is only the best to you. We get personal attention, so explain for your inspection.
Chic Leisure Limited, leading manufacturers of vermicelli, split piece powder, greaseproof paper, manufacturers of a variety of paper and plastic bags, bags for French fries, sandwiches, popcorn, supermarket stores, and more. Whatever your needs, trust to Chic Leisure Limited for quality products. CNC3 News presents the 50 most influential personalities from 1962 to 2012. Tune in to CNC3 and vote via text or vote online. Every day from here on, view our profiles on 50 outstanding contributors in arts, culture, politics, business, labor, science, medicine, and community service. The top 5 most influential personalities voted by you will be revealed on August 31st, 2012. Vote for whom you consider to be the most influential personality. You have the power to decide.
Welcome back, Trinidad and Tobago. The traffic plan, A Tale of Woes. Well, the Member of Parliament for Port of Spain South, Marlene MacDonald, is calling for the reversal of the traffic plan in Woodbrook and St. James. She's saying that it should be reverted to the original route, saying that the present plan is creating havoc for residents and businessmen alike. On Saturday, there was a walk, which Ms. MacDonald took part in, and we're going to share that with you. Then we'll begin our conversation with Marlene MacDonald.
For the past month, residents and businesses have been complaining about the new traffic plans implemented in Woodbrook and environs. In their last attempt to show the authorities that they are not happy with the new traffic plans, the residents took to the streets, led by the Member of Parliament for Port of Spain South, Marlene MacDonald. MP MacDonald says they have attempted to speak with the relevant authorities, but their efforts have been to no avail.
We will write to the minister and we will write to the mayor. That was done, but it was called off because he said of the flood. All right, it was called off. So today, all right, we do not have any other avenue. And therefore, this is our way of telling the national community, school is about to open. This cannot stay like this.
Port of Spain Mayor Louis Leasing implemented the new arrangements. But Ms. MacDonald says that the view of the People's National Movement is to revert to the system that existed before.
The PNM position on this is that it must revert back. That is the position, and I represent that position, sir. I don't want to get into a public spat with the mayor. All I am saying is that I represent these constituents, my constituents, the business residents, the business community, the residents.
Also in the march against the new traffic plan was Member of Parliament for Diego Martin Northwest, Colm Imbert. He says that the Port of Spain mayor has made an error.
The mistake the ministry has made is to not look at how this plan is affecting the residents of Woodbrook and St. James. That's the mistake. It has to be reversed. They have to put this back to a two-way. These people have my total support. Well, I think he's making an error because the only person who can reverse this plan is the Minister of Works. I'm a former Minister of Works. The person who signs the order regulating the traffic is the Minister of Works.
For CNC3, I am Otto Carrington.
Joining us online now, Member of Parliament for Port of Spain South, Marlene MacDonald. Ms. MacDonald, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, good morning, Ms. Ramkisoon, and good morning to all the viewers of CNC3.
Now, Ms. MacDonald, you were part of that walk on Saturday. The mayor subsequently has said that this matter is closed. The plan was implemented on July 16th with the full support of the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure. What is the next step? Obviously, you're looking at the fact that school is starting. The business community is saying that they are suffering. What is the next step?
Ms. Ramkisoon, Thank you for calling me and engaging me with such a critical issue this morning. But let me first state that, as I said on Saturday, I am not going to get into any public spat with the mayor. The mayor is not the focus of this issue. And I want to read, and I want to put it within a particular context to you this morning. If we examine Section 67 of the Motor Vehicles and Road Traffic Act, Chapter 4850, and it's under the heading Experimental Traffic Scheme. And I'm just going to read Section 67, Sub 1. It says, where it appears to the Commissioner of Police expedient to do so for the purpose of carrying out an experimental scheme of traffic control, he may, with the consent of the minister, and after giving such notice as the minister may direct, make regulations for regulating vehicular traffic in any manner specified. Ms. Ramkisoon, I want to tell you that the mayor has absolutely no locus standi in terms of implementing the traffic plan, signing off that notice for the new traffic plan in as what we see now in Woodbrook, St. James, and Tragaridge Road. So I am saying that the person that I am focused on is the Minister of Works. That is the person that we are focused on here.
No,
to that extent, my focus is also on my constituents, the business communities in both St. James and Woodbrook. They all fall within the purview of my constituency.
But the mayor has been the one that has appeared on all public fora. In fact, to members of the public, it seems as though he was actually the catalyst for change in this regard, the change to the existing traffic laws. He seems to be the standard bearer of this issue, coming out in the public domain and defending this plan. He's actually said that there was a level of consultation unlike any other seen in the public domain.
Ms. Ramkisoon, the mayor, like any other citizen, would have certainly an opinion. And they would have certain views. They would. And his views may not be, the same with the views of my constituents. I am out there as the Member of Parliament for Port of Spain South, representing the views and the concerns of my constituents, the residents in St. James, the residents in Woodbrook, the businesses in Woodbrook, the businesses in St. James, the senior citizens, the children. That is what I am representing. And that is why I have been elected. I have been elected to represent the views and concerns of my citizens. This is what representation is about.
DOMA has actually come out in support of the plan, saying that all of its members fully support the changes in the traffic route.
I didn't hear that.
The Downtown Owners and Merchants Associations, they have actually come out in support of the plan, and they are saying that the business community is happy about it.
And I am wondering which business community that DOMA is, that one-man team in DOMA is referring to. You see, the thing about it is that my constituents and the businesses, they do not object to change, But when the change affects, when that change affects the livelihood, the safety, the security of citizens, we must sit up and take note, Ms. Ramkisoon. And it is affecting the businesses. It's affecting the children. It's affecting the residents. It's affecting the senior citizens. It's affecting the children. And school will be open in just 2 weeks' time. Now, wait to see the mayhem it will create when school reopens.
You also stated on Saturday that this is a position of the People's National Movement. Mayor Lee Singh is a well-known member of the PNM. Are there differing views in the PNM about the traffic?
Certainly, Ms. Ramkisoon, what I said, you want to engage me, it's Marlene McDonald, Member of Parliament, up against me. That is not so. The focus, as I just read you, Section 67 sub 5, Section 67 sub 1, which clearly says it is the minister who is the central focus of this new traffic plan. And therefore, we must not lose focus. And what I said is that I am the elected person. I am the elected person. I am the member of parliament. It affects my constituents. And I'm saying that I represent the views of the People's National Movement. And again, and I was very clear on Saturday, I am not, and I'm going to repeat it, I am not going to get into any public spat with the mayor. My focus is on the minister. It is under the laws, under the Motor Vehicle and Road Traffic Act. It is the minister who is responsible for this.
Now,
that is where I'm going to keep my focus.
Have you spoken to the minister? And if it is your position and the position of the party?
Well, certainly I had spoken to the minister over the phone in the early days. And of course, as I said on Saturday, I delivered over 2,000 signed petitions to his office. He has not contacted me. But what I can tell you is that during the march on Saturday, he did call Mr. Crosby, the president of the St. James Improvement Committee, and there's a meeting arranged with the minister, the appropriate person, and the legal person under the Act. There is a meeting tomorrow morning scheduled to meet with the group.
Now, if it comes down to meeting the minister and saying that this is the party's position, this is the position of the residents, it's the position of all those affected, do you think you will have the mayor's support in that regard?
Ms. Ramki Soon, as I said, my focus is with the minister and my focus would be on my constituents. And that is all I am concerned about.
Ms. Pandon,
that is what I'm concerned about at this point in time.
How realistic do you think it is to get this plan changed? I mean, they've already put in traffic lights, the signage has gone up, they've changed all of the markings on the roadway. Obviously, they are intent on continuing this experimental plan.
Well, certainly, Ms. Ramki Soon, nothing in life is cast in concrete. And my grandmother had a saying, son na dung, man na cry. And nothing, as far as I'm concerned, cannot be reversed. We have to take in consideration the cries and the pleas and the concerns of our citizens. And if it is a government cannot do that, then the government isn't worth their salt. And I'm saying that you need to take into consideration the cries and the pleas of the constituents, of the residents, as I said, the businesses of St. James, Woodbrook, Calgary Road, all three.
Now, I understand that there was a meeting where some of the businessmen actually relayed their stories, and they were speaking of the fact that they have actually had to downsize their operations, laying off workers, saying that some are actually on the verge of closing their doors. Is there any truth to that?
Yes, that is true. I held a press conference about 2 weeks ago, and that press conference highlighted the type of hardship that the business people were going through or are going through. As a matter of fact, there is one named Mr. Chen. He's the owner of Jacqueline's Patisserie. And at that point in time, he told us that only this morning he had to do the most, I should say, the most hurtful task of letting go just 5 of his workers. And there are many others who have let go just a couple of their, I should put it, just lay off a couple of their workers very quietly. And Ms. Ramki Stone, to be quite honest, can we really sit back and allow this to happen? Where are these people going?
Where are they going?
There are not many job opportunities outside there. They are not, and the business people, they have come to me as their member of parliament to intervene.
Ms.
And all I am doing is representing the views. That is what representation. And I say again this morning, I stand with my constituents.
Ms. Pandon,
I stand with them.
My final question to you this morning. School is about to reopen. Those who have formulated this plan have stated that the existing arrangements, or that the ones that existed prior to this traffic plan in July, could not continue. That the traffic problem with the increased amount of cars on the road, something needed to be done, overall plan for Port of Spain, St. James and Woodbrook. And saying that it's a residential area 10 years ago no longer applies to what Woodbrook and St. James is today.
Well, certainly any plan. This is a national plan, as I have heard it being touted around. This is a national plan and not a plan for Woodbrook and St. James. But, Ms. Ramkissoon, any national plan must take into consideration the views of the affected citizens. Yet on Saturday, I was able to listen to the principal of Mokorapo Boys. And what they have done there, they have removed the hump in front of the school. And the principal was saying this will just create havoc in the place with children crossing.
Have they not put in? Have they not put in the required crossing facilities, the lights? I think the minister has stated that he will be making the adjustments.
Mr. Ramkissoon, the long and short is, generally, there are flashing lights around the place. I'm seeing them. But have you come into St. James? Have you come into Aripita Avenue and stand and see what is happening? With the type of the driving that is taking place? Have you seen the senior citizens attempting to cross the road? I was driving. I'm always down there, driving and looking around. I was driving my car, going, of course, in the westerly direction. I stopped to allow a group of children, no I'm older than 12, about 10 of them. I stopped, and the children began crossing the road. By the time they got to the second lane, car coming down, nearly mowed down the children. I actually got out of my car, Ms. Ramkissoon, and stood in the middle road and put my hands up because the children scampered back in front of my car.
Okay.
And I actually got out of my car, put my hands up to allow the children to pass. Ms. Ramkissoon, once it affects my residents in Woodbrook and St. James, they're all my constituents. I am doing my duty. I am fulfilling my responsibility as a member of Parliament.
Ms. McDonald, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We are out of time for this interview and sharing your views on all that is happening. I'm pretty sure that this is not going to be the end of this matter, and we will continue to liaise with you on it. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Certainly not.
Thanks so much. The MP for Port of Spain South giving her views on what's happening, re the traffic situation. She's saying that she's representing the views of her constituents. The business community is complaining. The mayor is saying that everything has been put in place. How will it end? I'm Hema Ramkissoon. We'll now take a very, very short break. When we come back, we're going to be changing our focus a little bit. The independence celebrations happening, and we're celebrating with cricket. Stay with us.
You're talking to your best friend when
you're going to clean their family.
You get cash back.
Yeah, darling.
You're talking to your best friend when you realize you're always a winner. You're talking to your best friend when you get a makeover. You suddenly feel like dancing. Every dog gets its day. You have your cake and eat it too. Nightfall. You're talking to your best friend. Whatever else happens, always get extraordinary value with Digicel. Get $1 cash back for every paid minute on local Digi-to-Digi calls made during the day, so you can talk more at night. Be extraordinary. Digicel.
Listen up, people, to this spot about rainbow products and why they're hot. Corned beef's not the only thing they've got, so put a rainbow in your pot. Canned and dried goods just for you. Vienna sausages and tuna too. Oil milk, rice, peas and carrots, so put a rainbow in your pot.
Now that's a lot.
That's right, I said a lot. So put a rainbow in your pot. Yeah, put a rainbow in your pot. Put a rainbow in your pot.
The Rainbow range of first-class food products. Available nationwide.
Come to Unique
Books and Sports Centre. We've got all your new school books for both primary and secondary schools at the lowest prices. Save money with our instant cashback when you bring your used secondary school books. We have a wide selection of book bags, stationery supplies, uniforms, and many in-store specials. Get 33 and 30% off all school shoes. Shop now and receive our exclusive 50-year commemorative pin absolutely free. Be sure to visit Unique Books and Sports Centre now, with convenient branches located at Port of Spain, San Fernando, Chaguanas, and Pinal.
This Independence Day is special. So at Subway for the whole month of August, the treat's on us. That's right. When you buy any foot-long Subway sandwich during August, we will give you a treat free. Choose from any of our decadent offerings. Cookies, muffins, brownies, even Soldanza chips. So stop by any of our 42 Subway stores for your next footlong and let us treat you. Happy Independence Day. Subway, eat fresh.
Enjoy hassle-free shopping at South's premier beauty store, One Stop Beauty Essentials. They carry a wide range of leading brands and personal care products at reasonable prices, including cosmetics, fragrances, and everything for your nails and hair. 100% Remy, human and synthetic wigs, weaves, and braids are also available. Shop in comfort at One Stop Beauty Essentials, your one-stop beauty shop, conveniently located at 52 Sutton Street, San Fernando. Secure parking available. Like them on Facebook or call 652-0080. Visit the Redemption Worship Center, a place where miracles do happen and people are blessed, at St. Thomas Village, Chaguanas, with Pastors Keith and Radhika Ramdas. Sunday 8 a.m. Christian education, 9 a.m. worship service, Wednesday 10 a.m. prayer, Thursday 7 p.m. Bible study, and Friday 6:30 p.m. youth church explosion. Special congratulations to Trinidad and Tobago on the 50th anniversary of independence. For more information, call 672-4262.
It's healthy and brand new, straight from Ramsarans to you. It's the pasteurized, 3-constituted milk from Ramsarans. It's nut and GM-free, vegetarian and it's gluten-free. A healthy choice for you and me. Thank you, Ramsarans. It's the brand new reconstituted milk from Ramsarans. Ramsarans Dairy Products, your healthy choice.
Welcome back, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Hema Ramki. Soon, Trinidad and Tobago cricket, an independence celebration. Well, we're celebrating 50 years as an independent nation. And some, I think, forward-thinking individuals have actually come up with this great concept, T20 for 50. You know, cricket is actually part of our national landscape. It's actually part of us, West Indian cricket. Who are we? What are we doing? And some of the big names in cricket have come together for a celebration. It's starting on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And to tell us a little bit about this event, Darren Ganga, well, I think he needs little or no introduction. I can go through the long CV that I found online, but former Trinidad and Tobago captain, and Dane Darbesi, the chairman of the organizing committee, T20 for 50. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Hema.
Now, we can start with you, Dean. The rationale behind this, it's a big thing. Everyone is looking forward to what's happening over the weekend. When did you come up with the concept, or why put it together?
Well, first of all, 2020 for 50 is a celebration of our 50th anniversary of independence through cricket. And besides providing entertainment to the nation, it also gives us the opportunity to provide much needed practice for our national cricket team as they prepare for Champions League in October. The government, and specifically the Ministry of Planning, was looking for ways of celebrating the anniversary through sport. And as you rightly said at the beginning, cricket is one of our major sporting events. So what better way to celebrate independence than to have the two teams that played in the final for Trinidad to qualify for the Champions League, Trinidad and Jamaica, and also to have our two sporting ambassadors, Darren Ganga and Brian Lara, captain two teams. We have in this event all of the major stakeholders in cricket supporting the event. So it falls under the Ministry of Planning and the chairman of the organizing committee, but the person who's leading the charge is the CEO of Infinite Possibilities Limited, Mr. Nizam Saladin. We have on the committee Ms. Monique Ragbir, formerly of REPA, who's been involved in organizing a number of these events in the past. We also have included on the committee from the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board, Mr. Dudnat Ramkisoon, Mr. Patrick Rampasad. We have the support and the participation of our 4 sporting ambassadors, Mr. Brian Lara, Mr. Darren Ganga, Mr. Hazley Crawford, and Mr. Dwight York.
You have a huge team behind you and behind this event. Now, Darren, you're leading an all-star team. Most people look forward to seeing every time you go before the pitch, you and Brian Lara. Let's talk a little bit about the team and some of the teams that are participating. The Trinidad and Tobago national team. Who else is going to be there?
It's going to be Trinidad and Tobago national team. The Jamaica national team, you know, some would argue that they are probably the best regional team on the circuit right now because of their dominance in regional cricket.
Maybe that happened after you left.
Not really. I think they've shown their worth in 4-day cricket, but Trinidad and Tobago, definitely, we have dominated the 2020 setup. We've also got Brian Lara, who is coming back, and I think, you know, the people of Trinidad and Tobago should recognize that this is probably the last opportunity that they're going to see Brian Lara in a competitive environment in Trinidad and Tobago. For me, as a player growing up, following the game, you know, obviously Brian and his accomplishments, you know, would stay with me because of what he has achieved as a cricketer. And I think in the context of this being a 50th anniversary celebrations, Brian himself, you know, has left an indelible mark in our cricketing landscape and in life in general in Trinidad and Tobago and the West Indies.
Not only recognizing what we've achieved as a nation, but what we've achieved in the sporting community. The Trinidad and Tobago national team will be there, the Jamaican national team. Darren Ganga, one who has flown the flag all over the world, will be leading an all-star team, and Brian Lara will also be there. We'll take a very short break. When we come back, we'll tell you a little bit more. 2020 for 50, a celebration of independence. Stay with us.
You're talking to your best friend when
You're going to clean their family.
You get cash back.
Yeah, darling.
You're talking to your best friend when you realize you're always a winner. You're talking to your best friend when you get a makeover. You suddenly feel like dancing. Every dog gets its day. You have your cake and eat it too. Nightfall. You're talking to your best friend. Whatever else happens, always get extraordinary value with Digicel. Get $1 cash back for every paid minute on local Digi-to-Digi calls made during the day, so you can talk more at night. Be extraordinary. Digicel.
Back to school troubles? Let us take away your worries. Shop at Keith Cann's Books Etc. in Port of Spain and San Fernando. You'll not only notice the difference in service, but the difference in your wallet. No one beats our prices. You can also email your child's book list at info@keithcannsbooksetc.com or fax 657-0468 in San Fernando or 623-1201 in Port of Spain, and we'll prepare it for collection. Keith Cann Books Etc. Your partner in education.
Whether it's for the best tasting breads, cakes and pastries or doubles, pizza and paratha roti, you need to start with premium flour. Nutrimix and Country Pride flour are nothing less than premium products manufactured to the highest standards. Available in 2 and 10 kilogram sizes from supermarkets nationwide, our range of flour was developed for its superior taste and nutritional value. We have the right flour for your family's every need. Nutrimix and Country Pride flour. Superior quality, honest prices.
Register now for AmCham TNT's 16th annual HSSE Conference and Exhibition, September 26 and 27. Be part of this informative experience as we explore the theme HSSE Excellence, Pathway to Sustainable Development, with feature speaker Robert F. Kennedy Jr., visionary environmental business leader and advocate. For details, call 622-4466 or 628-2508, extension 225, or visit www.amchamtt.com. That's www.amchamtt.com.
Feel the rhythm with Casey Candy Sweet Pan. This selected package filled with delightful Casey candies. Experience this sweet mint sensation for generations. Our souvenir of Trinidad and Tobago. So take home a Sweet Pan today. Casey Candy, we do make every moment sweeter. Call 636-2360 to place your orders now. Omerdeen School of Accountancy Limited is now enrolling students for September semester. We provide quality tuition for the ACCA Professional Program and the Foundation in Accountancy Program. Call us today. Tile Expression Eid Tile Sale now on. 8x12, $295. 16x16, $750. 17x17, $795. 12x12, $395. 18x18, $895. 24x24, $29. Also available thin set, grout, strips, and more. Prices valid while stocks last. Visit Tile Expression Limited, Monroe Road, Cunupia, near the mosque. Phone 693-0015 or 693-1528. This hurricane tip is brought to you by Target Cornby, Bob Insecticide, and Clean and White Bleach. Learn safe routes inland and location of official shelters and emergency contact numbers. Police 999, Fire Service 990, Ambulance 811.
Cricket, lovely cricket.
Our cricketers, our heroes, a nation forged from the love of cricket.
Come celebrate Trinidad and Tobago's half-century with 2020 for 50 Cricket Festival, featuring the TNT and Jamaica national teams and our very own Brian Lara and Darren Ganga all-star teams with regional and international cricket stars. Queen's Park Oval, August 24th to 26th. 2 games daily, 2:30 p.m. and 7 p.m. Get your 2020 for 50 tickets today at selected sports and games outlets and Queen's Park Ticket Outlet.
Welcome back to Trinidad and Tobago. 2020 for 50, a celebration of cricket. The Brian Lara, Darren Ganga, they'll be leading teams. Let's talk a little bit about the format of the matches. How is it going to take place? It's starting on Friday, so you have a little bit of time to get your tickets and be there at the Oval.
Yeah, you know, there'll be 2 matches per day, starting on Friday. The fixtures are out. You know, my team will be playing against Jamaica for the first game, and that will be followed by the Brian Lara All-Star team playing against Trinidad and Tobago, and that is a game I'm very excited about. I know that there's a sneak peek of an introduction of someone who have just done great things for us in sports. I don't want to disclose that, but obviously
come on now. You can't come and give us that little tease there this morning.
No, but I would leave that for the public to read about later in the week. But obviously, it's 2 days of fixed cricket. On Saturday, we start 2:30 again, you know, where my All-Star 11 would be playing against Trinidad and Tobago, followed by Brian Lara All-Star 11 playing against Jamaica. And then you have the best 2 teams in terms of points and success playing in the final on Sunday, followed by a 3rd-place playoff.
Again, it's a competition format, and there are a little bit of other elements of the activities. We have entertainment, with the support of every single person. Let's talk a little bit about what we can look forward to seeing.
Yes, it's a total day of entertainment. So not only do you have the 2 matches per day, but in between the matches and at the end of the games, we have a host of entertainers. You know, we've gotten support from corporate Trinidad. So B Mobile has given us all of the artists that are under their control. But we also have, you know, the Sport TT honoring 50 persons. So it's an entire day of entertainment. So I think, you know, there is something for everybody there. We actually have kids free. Yeah, but you have to get a ticket for them. So when you go buy your ticket as an adult, you get the ticket for the kids. So we have a limited amount of tickets free for kids. So it's you know, it's a total day of entertainment.
And Darren, you are one of the ambassadors of sport in Trinidad and Tobago, and we're celebrating 50 years, and we're tying that into our success, our cricket successes. What does it mean to you personally to be part of this event and to celebrate 50 years of independence, Trinidad and Tobago cricket, and by extension, West Indies cricket?
When we've looked at our sporting landscape, we recognize that cricket has played, a very important role in us as people. Not just, what we have accomplished on the field, but the pride, that we have sort of instilled in our people using sports. As well, Brian Lara, Hazley Crawford, Dwight York, all these guys, have accomplished great things in their respective fields. And we're using the medium of cricket to celebrate those accomplishments. We're trying to focus on the past, we're trying to focus on the present, and we're looking to the future as well. So we're trying to get everyone in that sort of context. We're trying to make sure that people recognize how very important sport is, the medium of sport. As sports ambassadors, we've got a mandate to ensure that we promote sports in a positive way, and hopefully this will spill off to the development of young people and inspire the next generation to get involved in positive activities.
Now, Dane, it's starting on Friday.
Starts on Friday.
Where can you get tickets? What are the prices? It's something that I think Trinidad and Tobago will all be excited to see the big names of cricket.
Well, tickets are available at the Queen's Park Oval, but they're also available at sports and game outlets. So they're available at the 5 sports and games outlets, Trin City Mall, Price Plaza, Gulfview, High Street, Scarborough in Tobago. The tickets are priced at $100 per day. So you get all of that entertainment that I referred to, plus the 2 games for $100. And we also have a season ticket, so you can buy for the 3 days for $250.
Now, the Jamaica team that's coming down, will you also be seeing the big names of the Jamaican team coming to Trinidad as well?
Yes, I think, you will have the Power Pack Jamaican team. I don't think Chris Gale is on that team because he's obviously injured. He's opted out. What has happened is because of the advent of the Sri Lanka Premier League,
right,
you've found a lot of the creme de la creme international players who are not playing international cricket attracted to that league there. So we've got some big names, some big South African names. We've got Herschel Gibbs, who is a top-class T20 player. We've got our very own local T20 players, Sunil Narayan, Dwayne Bravo. These guys will be lining up for the Brian Lara All-Star team. Justin Kemp, all these South African guys are coming in. Plus, we've got our West Indian cricketers who will be adding to the flavor. Dwayne Smith, Suleiman Ben, all these guys are adding. And one other thing, Brian, has a team ambassador.
Mm-hmm.
They say arguably he's the greatest all-rounder to the game. Sir Garfield Sobels would be his team ambassador for this event.
All of the big names, legendary names, are going to be on the field Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We now take a very short break. When we come back, we're going to open our phone lines for a little bit. You can get tickets at the Queen's Park Oval. It's only $100. 100 TT 2020 for 50, celebrating independence through cricket. Stay with us.
Presents Trinidad versus the rest of the world at the Center of Excellence, Mokoya, on Saturday, September 15th from 7 p.m. Featuring live in concert Dave and Radhika from India's Choti Bahu series, Sassy, exclusive from Holland, New York Music Machine, and our own Dilly Nadan and B-Mobile Shiv Shakti Dance Group. General admission $150, reserved $300, special reserved $400. Call us for VIP or VVIP information.
Here's what you'll enjoy when you visit the new Rupnarine showroom, corner Front Street and Wrightson Road, Port of Spain. Quality, unique design and selection in kitchen cabinets, bathrooms, closets, doors, tiles and patio furniture. The Rupnarine showroom. Call us today, 624-7667.
Seaview Optical's Grand Independence Anniversary Sale. Enjoy 50% off, 25% off all frames, including Coach, Versace, Prada, Calvin Klein, Gucci, DKNY, Oka, Dolce & Gabbana, plus 25% off all prescription lenses. We're also pleased to offer 25% off all sunglasses. Sale ends August 30th. Seaview Optical, affordable eye care for everyone. Baker Enterprises of Trin City and Abercrombie Street has a wide selection of newly designed independent supplies and party decorations. You can also find a wide range of locally inspired polos and souvenirs. Give us a visit at 79 Abercrombie Street or Trin City. Baker Enterprises Limited, the one preferred by customers.
Located at number 8 Forest Avenue, Coquet Village, San Fernando, Comfort Cooling is the ideal choice for all your residential and commercial air conditioning needs.
York International is proud to announce that Comfort Cooling is our authorized dealer for all mini splits manufactured by York. We are confident that Comfort Cooling has the qualified engineers and technicians to do the design and installation of our units.
So, give us a call at 652-6378.
Good morning, I'm Ria Rambley. This is the headline news on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Network. Managing Director of the Housing Development Corporation, Jolene John, reveals close to 36 families have had to be relocated from the disaster zone in Diego Martin and placed in government housing. Speaking with CNC3 News, Ms. John admitted the HEC is working around the clock.
A lot of it, you're just kind of responding because when the event occurred on the Saturday, we were all down there. You know, we were not thinking then of, oh gosh, it's about, you know, lives are shattered. You're seeing whole mountainside and washing inside of people's houses. You know, how do you repair that, restore their memories, etc., restore the family unit, because they might be fragmented forever.
Ms. John says the HEC even had to hire additional staff to put the finishing touches to the temporary living quarters.
We had to put in like external lights, something we had not catered for because that's an arrangement with HEC and TN-Tech. I mean, where we pay TN-Tech to put in lights. But because, again, that is a TN-Tech process, we couldn't wait. So you have to put in that. You have to bring out contractors today, to tile floors and do remedial work to ensure that the buildings are livable.
The Diego Martin Regional Corporation says work on flood-hit areas in Western Trinidad and environs is proceeding at a remarkable pace. The corporation reports that 95% of the roads in the area are open once more, and the cleanup work is 80% complete.
In terms of the roadways, 95% of roadways are operational. Relief efforts for 25 persons are being hampered due to their homes being severely affected by eroded hillsides, making it difficult to use mechanical means. So what we are doing is we have brought in, we are doing it by manual means.
To the crime front, police are investigating 2 murders which occurred on Sunday night. In Diego Martin, a 33-year-old Arima man was shot when he intervened in the shooting. According to reports, around 8 p.m. on Sunday, the victim, Kevin McMillan of Malabar Branch Road, raised an alarm when he saw 24-year-old Andwella McDavid shot. McDavid was sitting in a car on Union Road in Diego Martin when she was shot. The gunman reportedly turned on McMillan, fatally shooting the man as he shouted for help. McDavid survived but is in a critical condition at hospital. While in Couva, police say 20-year-old Adrian Adams was discovered dead by residents around 10 p.m. on Sunday after loud explosions rang out at Paradise Avenue. Adams's body was found behind a house after he attempted to escape from 2 men whom he reportedly had a falling out with some time earlier. Local Government Minister Dr. Suraj Rambachan is today expressing anger at the state of garbage collection in this country. Dr. Rambachan says the contractors are not fulfilling their end of the deal, and mayors and chairmen of corporations need to be more proactive in dealing with the situation.
Hundreds of millions of dollars are being spent annually in the whole question of cleanup, and therefore I believe there's a great responsibility and a duty upon the garbage collectors to ensure that they do their work on time and that they do it in a very efficient manner. And I'm going to be very strong in my approach as a minister with responsibility for collecting garbage to ensure that the conditions of the contracts are fulfilled.
Stay with CNC3. We'll have another news update at the top of the hour on our major newscasts at 7 this evening, right here on CNC3.
You got to move, 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 move. We like to move, 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 move. All bodies young and old. 7 Seas put you back in the groove. Make you move right. John Deere from 7 Seas. Moving nice and easy from your hip to your knee. Move your body with John Deere whenever you please. You got to move, 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 move. We like to move, 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 move.
Put the move back into your groove with 7 Seas Joint Care, the only supplement with Glucomega for healthy, supple joints.
Move!
Get the news first. Read the Guardian newspaper anytime, anywhere, online. Take advantage of our special introductory offer of just $4.99 US per month and receive daily a digital replication of the printed newspapers as seen on newsstands. It's convenient and environmentally friendly. Act now. Log on to www.guardian.co.tt to sign up today. Get the Guardian e-edition now. We give you the power in your hands.
It's extraordinary what you can see when you take a second look. Extraordinary is all around us. In the feelings we share, in the connections we make. In every captured moment. Share the extraordinary with Digicel.
SRI Construction Limited presents Active Yard Solutions for busy backyards with no maintenance, quick installation, lifetime warranty, railings of beauty and sophistication, affordability, privacy, strength and security. Beauty from all angles. We are the proud suppliers of Active Yard and wire wall high security fencing. Located at 22 Cotton Hill, St. Clair. Give us a call at 622-2155 or check us online, srigrouptt.com. SRI means quality and security.
Seaview Optical's Grand Independence Anniversary Sale. Enjoy 50% off, 25% off all frames, including Coach, Versace, Prada, Calvin Klein, Gucci, DKNY, Oka, Dolce & Gabbana, plus 25% off all prescription lenses. We're also pleased to offer 25% off all sunglasses. Sale ends August 30th. Seaview Optical, affordable eye care for everyone.
Welcome back to Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Hema Ramsoon. Thanks so much for staying with us. T20 tournament for 50 years of independence, a celebration of all that we've achieved. Now, Brian Lara, Darren Ganga, all of the big names. This is happening and it's starting on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And how did you decide your team? And do you think you can win? Come on.
Well, I must let you know that Brian is convinced that his team will be in the final, you know, and Dinesh should take note of this. You know, he's been practicing. He was at Lord's and he was sending, you know, video clips and pictures of himself training, getting out the Ross. But he is excited. We've sat down and we've, you know, invited a couple of international players, plus West Indian international players, and we've tried to balance our teams a bit. You know, Brian is very competitive, so he's, you know, he wanted to take all the good players, but we shared the international players and the West Indian players, and we've come up with a nice combination of two teams, and I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, the performances of these teams.
Do you have any surprises in store?
Yes, you know, some South African players have flooded our teams because they are the only players internationally that are free. Most of the international players are tied up with their countries or playing in the Sri Lanka Premier League. So we've piggybacked on South African players, so to speak.
Let's take a quick call from Claxton Bay. Quick house rules. Try to make your contributions as quickly as you can. Listen on your telephone sets and not on your television. Claxton Bay, good morning.
Good
Good morning, beautiful.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
I want to say a special thanks to Darren. I think he's a gentleman, and I like his style of batting. In comparison to Brian Lara, who is a flasher, I think seriously, I think that Darren has the correct approach to the game. He maintains his dignity and hits the ball. He reminds me of Sachin Tendulkar.
Thank you so much, caller. And thanks for sharing your contributions. Our phone lines are open. We just have time for a few calls. Dane, you're a cricket fan, a true cricket fan. Ups, downs, you are there. Let's take the organizing committee's hat out of it. Let's take all the official titles. What does this mean to you to see Brian on the field, Darren on the field, go up against the Jamaican team, a Jamaican all-star team? And you know, there's always this rivalry between Trinidad and Jamaica for some reason.
Well, first of all, if you take away the organizing committee hat from me, I'm supporting Trinidad. so the big thing for me is to see where we've gotten to in our preparation, how we stack up against these teams. We have potentially 9 players outside the Trinidad team that have IPL experience. So seeing how our players stack up against them is a big thing for me. But also, you know, once you have Brian Lara involved in a cricket match, it's huge. You know, so, you know, as a cricket fan, you know, going outside there, Brian is playing against Trinidad. He has with him Herschel Gibbs on his side, so that's a strong side as well. You know, Darren has Justin Kemp and a couple other South Africans, so that's a, you know, powerful side. See how Trinidad stacks up against that. And then the Jamaicans who will want revenge because we beat them in the finals to get there. So, you know, all of that makes for such a great day of cricket.
Now, Dane is a huge cricket fan. He has apparently been everywhere with the team, the ups and the downs. He's not a bandwagoner. So this event means so much to him. Now, we just have a couple of minutes till we wrap this interview. Looking at this event, also I have to ask you quickly, 2016, cricket, the possibility of being part of the Olympic celebrations. What does that mean?
I've heard a lot of you know, discussions around that. You know, 2020 version is something that can work. I think you know, the longer versions would take the Olympics to being, you know, a 2 months event. But the 2020 concept is something that can work in the Olympics. I heard a lot of the great past players of the game speaking about it and discussing it. It may be something that may come on the cards. That will be very exciting for world cricket, and it will take cricket into a new dimension. You know, it will feel good to walk out as a cricketer and show that you've got an Olympic gold medal. So I guess time will tell, but we definitely support the game, and hopefully the game can grow globally.
Dane, 10 seconds, closing comments to Trinidad and Tobago. This is a huge event, T20 for 50, Independence Day celebration.
Come celebrate independence with us in cricket. Come see the national team, and come see Brian Lara and the stars of yesteryear.
All of the big names, Darren, you have the final word this morning. A former TNT captain, you've led our team to international success. Speak to Trinidad and Tobago.
This is what we have accomplished for 50 years. This is a combination of our great players of the past. This is a combination of our current international players. And it is a combination of players who we see taking the mantle of Trinidad and Tobago cricket forward. So all this is married with our culture, with our expression as a people, and it's all-encompassing. It's not just for the cricket lovers. We've got entertainment, you know, we've got kids free. It's a family day, so it's all about Trinidad and Tobago and who we are as a people.
All about Trinidad and Tobago, who we are as a people. Cricket is essential fabric, or essential thread in the fabric of Trinidad and Tobago. Come out and support. The tickets are available at the Queen's Park Oval, only $100, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The heroes of yesteryear, the heroes of today and the next generation. It's a game that you must attend. I know I'll be there. I hope to see you too. I'll see you after this break.
We are touched by your smiles and your friendships, by your appreciation of the past and your ability to see the future. We're motivated by your drive and your willingness to try new things. We are fascinated that even though you are so very different, you still see yourself as so very much the same. We are energized by how hard you work and your ability to have a good time. By your pride and your passion. We are moved by your every new beginning and wonderful end. Every day we're inspired by your likes and your lives, and we'll continue to challenge ourselves to remain a big part of them both. Bermudez, the biscuits we love.
Home renos have never been easier with the professional and reliable staff at Pioneer Enterprises Limited. We pride ourselves in supplying and installing beautiful PVC, gypsum and the suspended ceiling. Find out more about our steel doors and other ceiling accessories. We also supply and install exquisite hardwood and laminate floors. Let Pioneer Enterprises Limited fulfill your home renovations with ease. Call us today at 650-3394 or 310-1720.
Surf, stream, share faster than ever before on Digicel's super fast 4G network. It's summer in 4G. Get your smartphone with a smart plan on the smartest network in TNT. Sign up for our newest postpaid smart plans now. Plus, for a limited time, get 1 month subscription free and 4G smartphones for $199. Be extraordinary. Digicel.
2009, I will never forget that year. What we have accomplished as a very small nation is very inspiring. We gave the best for our team, for our country, and for our people. You know, this is one way of identifying a Trinbagonian, and cricket has definitely done that for us. What are you proud about? Tell us by tweeting on Twitter to #I4TNT.
Where there's love for country, there's energy. Where there's energy, there's BPTT.
Why settle for an ordinary multivitamin? Switch to the extraordinary multivitamin, 7 Seas Multibionta. With 24 essential vitamins and minerals, it's the only multivitamin with probiotics, which help digestion and protect you against harmful bacteria and viruses. 7 Seas Multibionta. Put back in what life takes out.
Located at number 8 Forest Avenue, Coquet Village, San Fernando, Comfort Cooling is the ideal choice for all your residential and commercial air conditioning needs.
York International is proud to announce that Comfort Cooling is our authorized dealer for all mini splits manufactured by York. We are confident that Comfort Cooling has the qualified engineers and technicians to do the design and installation of our units.
So, give us a call at 652-6378.
Baker Enterprises of Trin City and Abercrombie Street has a wide selection of newly designed independent supplies and party decorations. You can also find a wide range of locally inspired polos and souvenirs. Give us a visit at 79 Abercrombie Street or Trin City. Baker Enterprises Limited, the one preferred by customers.
Register now for AmCham TNT's 16th annual HSSE Conference and Exhibition, September 26th and 27th. Be part of this informative experience as we explore the theme HSSE Excellence, Pathway to Sustainable Development, with featured speaker Robert F. Kennedy Jr., visionary environmental business leader and advocate. For details, call 622-4466 or 628-2508, extension 225, or visit www.amchamtt.com. That's www.amchamtt.com.
Introducing a new concept in shopping in Trinidad. AmazingBuysTT.com. Choose from thousands of products. Check out our specials. Free online gift registry. Shop from the comfort of your home. AmazingBuysTT.com. Call us at 652-4438.
What did the state of emergency really achieve? But if no Mr. Big was arrested during the period when the police and army had little or no restrictions on their ability to search and seize, it would take a tremendous leap of faith to believe that the criminal masterminds would be apprehended in a period where full constitutional protections are still in place. We're going to share with you an overview of what took place exactly 1 year ago. Do you remember when the SOE was declared? What did it mean and what have we achieved since then?
It's been 21 years since the country has seen anything of this magnitude, a widespread curfew in 86 communities within the local government corporations of Arima, San Fernando, Port of Spain, Diego Martin, Chagones and San Juan Laventil. Initially, the government was seeking to implement a curfew from 6 at night to 6 in the morning, but it's now shifted from 9 to 5.
But because primarily of other entities making a case for a later starting time. In particular, our Muslim brothers, who, as you're aware, they at present, they are observing the holy month of Ramadan and they have their prayers at various times. So we extended it to 9, from 9 to 5 instead.
During these hours, no one would be allowed on the streets within these districts, but special passes will be given to persons whose work depends on it. All this at the discretion of law enforcement officers. For the first night only, there would be some reprieve.
In the unlikely event, the few people who do not acquire those passes by the time they need to be out on the streets after 9, we are asking them to walk with 2 forms of photo ID.
Citizens can apply to police stations nearest to them for passes, and anyone who must travel out of the country requiring them to travel between the curfew hours must get special passes as well, according to Assistant Police Commissioner Stephen Williams.
Persons who are traveling out of the airport at Piarco can receive those passes issued at the next to the domestic terminal at Piarco International Airport.
Taxi drivers would suffer the same fate as anyone else, meaning anyone who have a pass but needs to travel to get home cannot rely on taxis within the specific times.
There will be no passes to taxi drivers and maxi taxi drivers and PH drivers and whoever else.
He says he will review how to treat with PTSD during such times. Specific consideration, however, will be given to anyone who may have a medical emergency.
They use the normal route that they would use to access a hospital. We will be giving clear instructions to our officers, and similar by way of, if I can just add from our discussions with the Chief of Defense Staff, we will be giving our officers and both the police and the soldiers clear instructions in relation to exercising key discretion.
The minister says it will last initially for 15 days, which would go until September 5th, the day school reopens. Special consideration is being given to Independence Day celebrations. The minister says the government is steadfast in achieving the objectives.
The state of emergency will allow our law enforcement officers to do a number of things, inclusive of search and seizure, and that does not only reside with the police, but it resides with members of the army as well.
The measure of success, according to the police, would be in the reduction of gun-related crimes and in particular homicides when the state of emergency is lifted.
Welcome back, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Hema Ramsoon. Thanks so much for staying with us. What did the SOE really achieve? 1 year later, we're now celebrating Independence Day yet again. 50 years of independence. 3 SOEs have been declared in this country. 3 times we used the ultimate tool in the government's artillery against crime in the country. The unions, the Joint Trade Union Movement, they have all come together, and today they're holding an event to really call on the government to 1, account, 2, say what has been achieved, 3, what are we going from here? Joining us on set, Vincent Cabrera. Mr. Cabrera, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning to you and to your viewers.
1 year later.
Well, 1 year later, they have achieved the issuing of warrants for people for issues like child maintenance and having a ticket, a vehicular ticket not paid, that sort of thing. But in the view of the trade union movement, it has not really achieved either what it said it wanted to achieve or what it really was intended for.
Now, there's an editorial in the Guardian newspaper today. Today marks the first anniversary of the declaration of the state of emergency in Trinidad and Tobago, which was meant to address the country's crime problem. 1 year ago, the Prime Minister stated, after intense consultation arising out of intelligence that revealed there existed a clear threat to national security, my government took the formidable decision to announce an SOE to protect citizens of this country and safeguard the nation. 1 year later, do you think the population is satisfied that this clear and present danger has been identified and that situation has been annihilated?
No, I don't think the population is satisfied. In fact, let us back up a bit. The state of emergency was declared ostensibly to deal with crime. And on that weekend, that fateful weekend, there were 4 murders. In fact, we have had weekends since then with even more murders. So I think that the jury has already decided, although some people will continue saying it was for the reasons of crime. In fact, it was the greatest faux pas that the government had made, because remember, they came into power on an anti-crime mantra. And one minister, in fact, is recorded to have said that in 3 months, crime would be a thing of the past. The fact that they had to declare a state of emergency was evidence that there was no plan in the first place, no crime plan in the first place. We have had the then Minister of National Security being dismissed. We now have a new Minister of National Security who started off by promising a crime plan within 2 weeks and now saying there will be no crime plan and they just will be unrolled, all of that. So when you lock people up and crime goes down, that is not proof that you're dealing with crime, because when you let them out again and the crime figure picks up again, then you have an even greater problem. So the government came out with a lot of egg in its face. It has not been able to prove or to give any one iota of evidence as to why the state of emergency was called. Remember the big hullabaloo about gangs invading the country, and it will make 1990 look like a tea party and all of that, and all of that has simply been put to rest. So we are here to say today, 1 year after that the trade union movement, and decidedly so, the joint trade union movement had been going about its business of seeking to have a mass response of the workers and the people to the government's ill-fated and ill-engineered 5% wage cap. And on that basis, we have the view that the government simply used its power, use its authority, abuse its authority to declare the state of emergency.
Now, there was an initial view that the unions believed that the SOE was simply called to control their activity. There was talk of an impending strike action, a national shutdown. Do you still hold that view?
Hold what view?
That the state of emergency was declared.
Yes, that is what I've been saying since I started to speak this morning.
Now, looking at the Prime Minister's speech, this is a part of one of the speeches that she delivered. I am convinced, however, that the vast majority of the population would agree that the state of emergency and the curfew were successful. I've received many letters, emails, and telephone calls from citizens who have told me so. There's been an increase in the number of reliable reports of illegal activities in communities by the average citizens. We all feel safer.
Well, I don't know how many people feel safer now. The fact of the matter is, I remember at the time the Prime Minister saying is that she was advised by the security forces to call the state of emergency, to declare the state of emergency. And I remember saying too that whether you are advised or not, you are going to pay the political price. It is your decision. And in fact, it is a smokescreen the government is hiding behind, because if you have the people are locked up and they're not able to function as normal, obviously, all kind of activity will go down. Not only criminal activity, economic activity, political activity, all kinds of activity. When the countries return to normal, based on in terms of the removal of the state of emergency, it is then to prove what has happened. And you know, the media is full of the evidence. The thousands of urban youth who were picked up, thrown into vans and small trees and so on, forced into already built prisons, a prison which the roof caved in a little while after and so on. Nearly 100% of those people had to be returned to their, they had to be released. And in fact, the AG keeps mouthing that no one is going to receive
That's even on the front line.
Is the AG a dictator? The AG is not the courts. And if people have cases in court and the court say they must be compensated, the AG has to agree to. So this thing about the AG, and another thing I want to say, he emerged to be the sort of Goebbels, the good of this PP regime during the state of emergency. Remember, nearly every night at one time he was coming and making sort of some statements. So we want to tell the AG, give us a rest. You cannot be telling us who is going to be compensated and who is not going to be compensated. You know nothing. This is not the courts of the 12th and the 13th century. And if the courts award compensation, I'm certain the entire law association would agree with me that if the courts agree to compensation, the state may in fact appeal it. It may reach the Privy Council. Once the courts agree with it, they cannot tell anybody that they will not pay. I think he's attempting to shy away people from who may want to litigate because they were wrongly arrested. They were abused. The arrest was an abuse. I think that is what is going on there.
During the state of emergency, in the aftermath of negative publicity, the gloom and doom of lawsuits against the state, I am pleased to announce 1 year later, not one red cent has been paid out because none of the claims made by the detainees have been successful in the courts of law.
I cannot comment on that because I have not been involved in any claims against the AG. It is the attorneys who are handling matters, so those people will have to talk. And I think that's simply a ruse, a red herring, and I would not repeat what I said before. I want, however, to say quite clearly that the trade union movement intends every year that this government remains in power to remind people of the 21st, because in the culture of Trinidad and Tobago, there's so much going on, that always going on, new events, that people may tend to forget what has gone on. And this state of emergency which took place left us, as far as we are concerned, all of us abused. Our rights were taken away. We were locked up, locked away. We were prevented from engaging in our normal activity. And a government is supposed to protect the rights of people. The government is supposed to give them even more rights. Government is not supposed to be taking away rights from the people.
At a time when when all constitutional rights were suspended, a limited state of emergency, 1 year on, what has been achieved? We're going to take a very short break. When we come back, we'll continue our discussion. The unions are saying that they will continue to ensure that the population is reminded of exactly what transpired and what did not take place. Stay with us.
One dose of Centel eliminates most common words. Deworm your family with Centel.
Nigel Stutch Promotions presents Come Meet the Champs of Raw, August 30th at the Cascadia Hotel. Vladimir Kozlov, Bobby Lashley, and Carlito. Meet and greet the champs at the Cascadia Hotel. Join us at the after party at La Casa de Ibiza and come party with the champs. Get your tickets at Brands Galore, Francis Plaza, Ev's Barbershop, Coquille, Sheltec, Tuna Puna, Capital Plaza, Plus One Apparel, Arlene Mall, Charlotte Street, Ibiza Tribridge Road, or Carl's Barbershop, New City Mall. Sponsored by Cascadia Hotel.
It's a mission. This is our vision. Making it happen. Making it happen. We're making a difference. Here and now, across the land, Trinidad and Tobago. Open your eyes, realize there's so much waiting for you.
Republic Bank Limited in collaboration
collaboration with TNT Blind Welfare Association present Vision Caravan from May to September 2012 throughout rural Trinidad and Tobago. Come have your eyes tested and experience a new vision. See press for details.
Open your eyes, become aware, make use of what's here for you. Be part of the vision now.
In celebration of Republic Bank's 175th anniversary, Vision Caravan.
Relive fond memories of the Treehouse at Driftwood Restaurant and Poolside Bar located at Tradewinds Hotel, San Fernando. Enjoy small buffet breakfast, a la carte lunch and dinner served daily. Sunday buffet breakfast. Wednesday 2 meats poolside barbecue with live pan. Friday night entertainment. And Saturday nights, order our lobster dinner at half price. Dine outdoors, poolside, or enjoy AC dining indoors. Your wish is our command. Come and enjoy great ambience and have a good time. For reservations, call 376-0907 or 290-1305 through 8. Chiropractor, failed. Massage, failed. Physiotherapy, failed. Surgery, failed. Pills, drugs, injections, failed. We succeed where others have failed. Harmonized Diffusion conquers pain. At Pain Relief and Health Management Limited, pay no money if we can't help you. Call 622-8085 or 628-8257 today for your free preview. Thousands of tests. Diffusion is the best. Seaview Optical's Grand Independence Anniversary Sale. Enjoy 50% off, 25% off all frames, including Coach, Versace, Prada, Calvin Klein, Gucci, DKNY, Oka, Dolce & Gabbana, plus 25% off all prescription lenses. We're also pleased to offer 25% off all sunglasses. Sale ends August 30th. Seaview Optical, affordable eye care for everyone.
Look at that. Wow. Beautiful. Gonna finish the shrimp with some nice white wine.
Ah, how delightful.
Welcome back, Trinidad and Tobago. The SOE, 1 year later, the AG said that no money paid to emergency detainees. What has really been achieved? Now, we're going to share with you a story that was aired in our newscast just about a year ago. The then Minister of National Security claiming the successes of the declaration of the state of emergency.
Failed? No. I think it was, and I'm sure you will agree with me, it was a resounding success.
High marks from one of the key architects of the state of emergency, although more questions than answers remain about the reason for the imposition of the measure. The man who advised the Prime Minister to implement the state of emergency and curfew, National Security Minister Brigadier John Sandy, believes the 107-day-long measure was successful. While the opposition, the trade union movement, members of the legal fraternity and others have dubbed the SOE a failure, Minister Sandy says he's hoping that the gains made in curbing criminal activity will continue, although the measure has been lifted.
Well, it feels good. Trinidad and Tobago, we are breathing again as far as that confinement is concerned. And we're hoping that our country moves on from strength to strength and the criminal activity subsides.
Scenes like these became popular during the state of emergency, so-called gang elements being set free by the courts because of a lack of evidence. 16 men detained under the state of emergency regulations in connection with an alleged assassination plot were also freed late Monday evening. They were the men government accused of being behind a devious act of treason. With their freedom, Minister Sandy says the threat on the lives of those initially targeted could still be real.
All our lives are a threat. When we leave home, we walk down the streets, you don't know if you're getting back home. Let me go and do this outfit.
He has to cut the ribbon to the exhibition hall.
If a life is threatened, regardless of what happens, time, it remains threatened.
When pressed by reporters, Commissioner of Police Dwayne Gibbs would not say whether citizens have anything to fear with the release of the 16 men. Speaking with reporters following a disaster conference on Tuesday, the top cop said he was pleased with the performance of his officers in the 107-day-long state of emergency. Commissioner Gibbs said if investigations unearth any evidence against the 16 detainees who were released, they can and will be rearrested. For CNC3, I'm Kamal Georges.
So much has happened. An assassination plot. The Minister of National Security is no more. Also, the Commissioner of Police is no more. They're talking about the country moving forward, Mr. Kibera, forgetting what has happened and just simply moving forward.
Well, you don't simply forget what has happened. Otherwise, you will make the same mistakes again. You see, we have to recall that it was the Prime Minister herself who told the country that a limited state of emergency was being declared. Then the country found out there was no such thing because the state of emergency was even in the waters of Trinidad and Tobago. People had to get passes to go there and all of that. What was limited was the question of the hours of curfew, which were delineated to certain hours, limited to certain areas and so. I think that Minister Sandy, the fact that he is no longer in the government is proof to that the state of emergency was a failure. Okay, and I think that the government simply has egg in its face and is attempting to do as much PR as possible to, in fact, climb out of a cul-de-sac which they have created for themselves. But that, while they have made many missteps, that state of emergency was an error. Those who will continue to analyze it from whatever perspective they choose, history would prove and will continue to show that that was an error. They handled that issue badly. And that crime is still an issue that we have to grapple with, that we are grappling with in Trinidad and Tobago.
How do you propose that we solve the crime situation? Have we lost the war completely? The government has tried almost everything at its disposal.
Well, I don't know that the government has tried everything at its disposal. Okay, I'm not here this morning to tell the country or to unleash another crime plan on the country. What I'm saying is that the People's Partnership Government was elected on one of the reasons why the people elected that government is because it promised to deal with crime, to significantly reduce crime. It has not done so. Let us hope that the activity that the current minister is engaged in will bear fruit. I am not one to pour cold water on issues like that, because if the government is successful in dealing with crime, all of us are going to benefit from it. But we are saying that state of emergency was never really intended to deal with crime. It did not deal with crime, and we still have a real problem of crime, escalating crime in Trinidad and Tobago.
Mr. Kibera, we just have 2 minutes to wrap this interview. The Joint Labour Movement, they're hosting...
The Joint Trade Union Movement.
The Joint Trade Union Movement, they're hosting an event today. Can you tell us a little bit about...
Well, at 8:30, the leaders of the Trade Union Movement, most of the union leaders, would be assembling at Woodford Square, and from about 9 we would be engaged in a certain activity outside the halls of the hall, what is it called? The Hall of Justice?
Yes.
Hall of Justice. And I think that the media should come and see what is happening. I can't say what is going to happen now, because when you
will
come,
all
you
your
will
labor
see.
leaders be present?
Well, remember that the Joint Trade Union Movement, I may correct something that a certain labor leader said. The Joint Labour Movement was formed prior to the last elections, okay? And not all of the unions were involved then. There were a few who were out. Some have come in, some have left again, but the Joint Trade Union Movement continue to function, and we continue to fire the imagination of the workers in the country. We continue to offer leadership which no one else has been able to offer.
Mr. Kibera, thank you so much for joining us this morning. The Joint Trade Union Movement, they're hosting an event this morning to highlight what they say is one of the greatest mistakes committed by the government. The Attorney General has come out in support and said, in hindsight, you can look at things quite differently, but they stand by their decision that the SOE was a success. We now take a very short break. When we come back, we're going to be looking at families, issues affecting your family. Stay with us.
Our cricketers, our heroes, a nation forged from the love of cricket.
Come celebrate Trinidad and Tobago's half-century with 2020 for 50 Cricket Festival, featuring the TNT and Jamaica national teams, and our very own Brian Lara and Darren Ganga all-star teams with regional and international cricket stars. Queen's Park Oval, August 24th to 26th. 2 games daily, 2:30 p.m. and 7 p.m. Get your 2020 for 50 tickets today at selected sports and games outlets and Queen's Park Ticket Outlet.
If your guests are pests, then call General Pest Control. We offer effective treatment using the latest technology against termites, rats, roaches, mosquitoes, ants, mice, pigeons, and lots more. Total eradication, guaranteed jobs, no callbacks. Get a 10% discount as an introductory offer with free estimates and inspections. Centrally located in Caroni, or call 645-4871. General Pest Control. Satisfaction guaranteed.
You're talking to your best friend when
you're getting a clean day, family.
You get cash back.
Yeah, darling.
You're talking to your best friend when you realize you're always a winner. You're talking to your best friend when you get a makeover. You suddenly feel like dancing. Every dog gets its day. You have your cake and eat it too. Nightfall. You're talking to your best friend. Whatever else happens, always get extraordinary value with Digicel. Get $1 cash back for every paid minute on local Digi-to-Digi calls made during the day, so you can talk more at night. Be extraordinary. Digicel.
Superb Caterers. The name says it all. We are TNT's #1 choice for catering of all events, serving TNT for almost 20 years. We cater events from 10 to 4,000 persons and guarantee prompt, reliable, friendly and efficient service, whatever the time, place or event. Call 653-1896. That's 653-1896. Superb Caterers. We are superb. Reconnect with your African ancient history by visiting African Trophies. Take advantage of our Emancipation Sale to enrich your surroundings with African arts, craft, clothing and music at 40% discount. African Trophies, 39 Tragreach Road, Port of Spain.
Welcome back, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Hema Ramkisoon. Thank you again for staying with us, and thanks for inviting us into your homes. Well, from a state of emergency to better communities to better families, that's all intricately linked into making TNT a better country. We're celebrating 50 years of independence. Where have we come from and where are we going? Many say that family life is being slowly destroyed in our country. The Mothers Union of Trinidad and Tobago will be holding a conference, Building Stronger Christian Families. Joining us on set this morning, Phyllis Ragunanan and Brian Skinner. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Good morning.
Now, Phyllis, let's talk a little bit about Building Stronger Christian Families. Why hold this event?
We are holding this event because I worked with the prison at Aruka, and I found that there are so many young men there. And when I read the papers as well, the violence every day, and I know mother Mothers are the heart of the nation with their children. They're very important people. And it might be something that we're doing wrong, but I cannot put my finger on it. However, Mr. Skinner is also working with the prisoners at Aruka, and I felt that he can offer something to the mothers so that we will be able to at least do things differently with our children, and we may not have so many young men with so much hate. It's very sad to see them at Aruka on mornings, young children just jumping around doing nothing.
Now, Brian, there are a number of topics which will be discussed at this event. How mothers wound their sons. Quickly, how do mothers wound their sons?
Well, the way some mothers wound your son is in their attempt to love them. Sometimes they give them over attention, or sometimes she might prolong their adolescence. Sometimes she have a difficulty letting them go. You know, if you go to shoot an arrow, you must release the arrow. You cannot hold the arrow. Sometimes mothers release the arrows and still hold your sons. And then sometimes out of that, we get what you call the passive male or the dominant male. And that can lead to different types of behaviors. Now, this wound is not a wound of inattention, it's a wound of over-attention. And while this occurs, we are concerned about how a mother can approach her sons, and in particular her sons, and love him in a way that will bring him into maturity and into a healthy relationship. So when he leaves home to start another family with another person, he does not have to take what we will say bad relationships into that family. And that's where we're concerned.
Now, the West Indian family is quite an interesting structure.
Yes, ma'am.
We have a matriarchal structure. Most households, a mother is a dominant figure. Let's couple that with single-parent homes. How is this conference really going to address the failures or the failing concept of a family in our country?
Well, what we're going to do is go back to what you call a basic structure that is healthy. Each human being, male or female, is a result of 100% masculine input and 100% feminine input. What it takes and start in the womb must continue outside the womb to have a healthy individual. If it's not adhered to, then we look for pathologies. And a family, a nation is an outgrowth of families. So if we want to have a healthy nation, we must have healthy families. So we need to go back and readdress how do we raise our children, what role mothers play, what role fathers play. And in particular, we will be looking at how the mother impact that young man or woman, but in particular, we are looking at male, positive or negative, and to come up with strategies how to correct some of it. It's not a conference to put a mother down. In fact, all of us start life with union with our mother. But that union was not just with mother. Mother had union with masculinity to help bring forth humanity.
Ms. Rangan, who exactly are you targeting for this conference?
Male and female. The Mothers Union is an organization in the Anglican Church of Trinidad and Tobago. Almost in every Anglican church, we have Mothers Union groups. And so we would really like not only the Mothers Union members, but members of the public to come forward and see what the Mothers Union are doing and what we are all about. So I'm targeting male and female.
Mrs. Skinner, we're going to talk a little bit. We're looking at correcting that balance or imbalance with the mother-son relationship.
Yes, ma'am.
What about the fathers?
Well, I'm glad you raised that concern. In fact, this mother wound usually starts because of an absent or passive father. And that's why we, again, if you notice initially I said, the union that every human being comes out of comes from a union and a communion with mother and father. And therefore, we'll be looking at how men are affected. Now, That's why we need men attending, because a man affected by his mother takes that deficit into his marriage. That's why in premarital counseling we address that issue. So it can be addressed at different stages. Now, because we work in prison, we address it there. Now, it can be addressed in helping mothers in their parenting. How do you parent your child that this deficit does not occur?
We just concluded a conversation with one of the union heads about the state of emergency, the number of persons arrested. And let's look at making that link. How strong is that link, or how important is family life in terms of protecting our nation? Or if we have a breakdown in families, how possible is it that that is directly linked to the crime situation?
It's a direct link. The disconnect that we saw occurred because men are not there to receive their children from the womb. So the disconnect occurs with the father initially. So therefore the mother is thrown into a situation where she alone has to raise that child. You know, when a child is born, the mother goes through something called postpartum,
right,
where she's separated. If that doesn't occur, the child dies with the mother. Now, for a girl, she doesn't have to disconnect from her mother. But for a boy to become a man and takes on a family, he must go through what we call a second postpartum. And a lot of people in families, churches, and in various institutions have not been taught, and mothers have not been taught they do have to go through a second postpartum with their sons. Otherwise, he takes an attitude into a relationship that can cause serious problems.
Now, you've obviously raised a number of issues that I don't think many people have been aware, the intricate relationship between both parents and their child or their offspring. What are some of the other things that we may not be aware of as it relates to having a healthy, stable family?
Well, that the family starts first with the husband-wife or male-female relationship, because they're the only two that can reproduce. And therefore, that's the structure of the family. And the family is complete with the male-female or husband-wife relationship. Children do not complete the family. Children expand the family. If we see our children as completing the family, what occurs when one cannot have children? Or what occurs when that child leaves home? That's why we have something called the empty nest syndrome, which normally occurs after the last child leaves home, because the parents find their identity, especially the mother, in her children. That's not where they need to find their identity. Their identity first must come from their creator, which they now bring into their relationships with each other. What it occurs if mother spends a lot of her time focusing on the child, we end up with what you call child-centered parenting. Child-centered parenting raised a child that is very egocentristic, that the child think everything rotates around them. They will take that into the classroom, they will take it into sports, and they will take it into all the other structures in society.
Now, Mr. Raghunan, you obviously worked in the prison system. You've seen firsthand what a breakdown in family life can do to an individual or to the children. From your interactions with a number of those who are in the prison system, what are some of the quick things that maybe a mother or a father can do to ensure that their child does not end up behind bars?
What they can do is to let the children know that they love them, or the child. That is very important. How did you spend your day? You know, give them spend special time with them. At school, many parents, when they're invited to Parent-Teachers Association meeting, you will find 3 or 4 parents turning up, mostly mothers, and the fathers, they are not there. And it's very important that we hug our children, because the Mothers Union run a parenting course in Trinidad and also Tobago. And we are trying to let mothers know how important it is to love their children. We have a home as well. I need to tell you this. We have a home in San Fernando on Puchette Street, where we take the children off the street. The caregiver will bring those children in with a policeman, of course, and from 15 months down up to 10 years, we have those children and training and helping them.
Now, Ms. Skin, before we wrap out quickly,
Yes.
the conference is taking place Saturday, September 8th, 2012 at
Yes.
Amphitheatre B at the Eric Williams Medical Sciences Complex. Registration is $150. You can contact 638-2771 or 682-1685. Coming out and saving our families, creating stronger families. Brian, broken families, a number of families, that is just the realities that they face at this time as a result of domestic violence, as a result of death, as a result of a number of things that are beyond their control. What would you say to those families?
Well, what I will say to them, what they need is somebody to love them, because it takes time to heal. Healing is a process. You just don't. I lost a son through murder. I understand. In fact, I was working in prison when they murdered my son. So I'm not speaking out of some fantasy. I understand the hurt. But hurts can be healed, and healing does not necessarily have to leave pain. So we need to share, comfort each other, care for each other. We need to begin to love each other and stop basing love on performance.
Stop basing love on performance.
That's right.
The hurt can be healed. It's a conference that's taking place on Saturday, September 8th, 2012. It's taking place from 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Contact 638-2771 and 682-1685. I'm Hema Ramkissoon on behalf of everyone attached to the Early Morning Show. Thanks so much for joining us. Stop basing love on performance, and all hurt can be healed. Tomorrow we will be speaking to cricket legend Brian Lara at 6:30 a.m. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
You know.
Good morning, I'm Ria Rambali. This is Headline News on CNZ3 and the TBC Radio Network. Member of Parliament for Port of Spain South, Marley McDonald, believes the new traffic plan in Woodbrook and surrounding areas will not work once school has reopened. Speaking on the CNZ3 Early Morning Show, Ms. McDonald said St. James business owners are not the only ones affected.
My constituents and the businesses, they do not object to change, you know. But when the change affects, when that change